It's been a while since I did something like a Let's Play, so I'm going to be playing through Power Rangers the movie on Mega Drive. Why? Well, I'm doing some writing for a website called Random Access. It's run by my friend Jeff. I'm looking to become a regular contributor to that website. And in January, they're doing a Power Rangers month, so I thought, why not, jump in and do a Power Rangers game based on a movie that I really enjoyed. And I've already done one playthrough of this. I've already got a basic script for my write-up, but I feel like I need to play it again to remind myself. At the same time, I thought, you know what, if I'm playing the game, let's stick my iPad there, put it on record, have a couple of drinks, get right royally bladdered, and play this. And record it and put it on my YouTube channel for fun and all that stuff. So, that's what I'm going to do. This is based on the movie, although the inner code of the game says Power Rangers 2, which tells me that it was originally not planned to be a game based on the movie, but just that they added that in because it was 1995 and the movie was coming out. That's basically it. I got a drink of cider right here to sip from, and I'm hoping that I get smashed before I can even finish this. 6,000 years ago, a morphological being known as Ivan Ooze ruled the world with a reign of unparalleled terror. He rid entire planets of adult population, then brainwashed the young to follow in his evil path. A faction of young warriors known as the Order of Millennium lured him into a hyperlock chamber and buried him deep underground. An inner city construction crew accidentally uncovers the hyperlock chamber and releases the evil power of Ivan Ooze, who in the movie is an absolutely amazing character. The guy who played him, can't remember his name now. I keep forgetting his name. Cool actor, thespian, all lovey-dovey darling, all that. Why is my frame rate dropping? That's better. White Ranger. White Ranger's always been my favourite. So, first thing you're going to notice, really, apart from how nice it looks, and the fact that I've got a scan like... Why is it slowing down? Why can't I have anything nice in this world? Look, alright, my computer can run Crysis on, maximum. What is this slowdown shit? Better. Right, okay. No, it's slowing down again. Oh, for crying out loud, seriously. Well, you might notice that I'm fighting the same enemy over and over and over again. But that's one problem that a lot of Power Rangers games tend to have, is that they don't have much variety. You're going to notice for the first two stages that there's no boss, and the only enemies I'm fighting are going to be Ooze-Man. Just Ooze-Man. Now, in side-scrolling beat-em-ups like Final Fight, yeah, there are some repeating enemies, but normally they're called Nigel, Jeff, Horace, or whatever, and they have different colour tops. The only difference here is that some of these enemies have slightly more health. There's nothing about them otherwise to identify what's special about them. They're just generic Ooze-Man. Generic Ooze-Man. That's all these are. And that day moon, right? That looks like something that you'd see on a sign in a Sailor Moon game or something, The thing is, this game was developed by band Presto. It basically uses the same engine as the Sailor Moon beat-em-up on the Mega Drive, Bishojo Senshi Sailor Moon. In fact, the backdrops are totally in that style. I wouldn't be surprised if they just reused them and changed a few of the details. I wouldn't put it past them. Does this really look like Angel Grove from the TV series? Not particularly. No, it does not. It does not look anything like it. Wow, Image. I'm just going to go shop at Image. What a great idea. And you're seeing these repeating Ooze-Man enemies over and over and over again. No variety, nothing new. So this is supposed to be when the Power Rangers are chasing after Ivan Ooze. Now, do you remember that in the movie that happened at nighttime, not at daytime? So here's another detail that's completely wrong. The only time during the day that they do any sort of fighting is when they're not doing any sort of fighting. That's specifically the bit where they're roller skating around. That's the only time we ever really see the Power Rangers in Angel Grove, and even then they're not in their suits. This game is just full of complete and utter inconsistencies with the film. And look. Hello, Ivan. Do I get to fight you? No, I don't. Level complete. Well, isn't that fantastic? Isn't that absolutely smashing? And the next thing I want to talk about is what this game does about the story, right? It's telling you about the attack on the command center, damaging Zordon and Alpha 5, right? That's cool. And the Power Rangers have to go to planet Phaedos, or whatever it's called, to go get their powers back, right? So you could have a level there where they're fighting the Tengu army on Phaedos. But no, they go, okay, we're going to tell you some more story, because, you know, that might be a bit boring, you know, Power Rangers, they don't have their power. So let's tell you about Zed and Rita, who you haven't even seen yet in the game. And if you haven't seen the movie and you're not a Power Rangers player, then you wouldn't even know what the fuck they're talking about. And then it's like, oh yes, Dulcea, so she's going to make us go off with the Ninjetti powers and fight some enemies. Well, no, they're not, because instead of giving us a level here, they give us another cutscene. Straight after this cutscene, there is another 4-panel cutscene. And what do they continue to do from here? They continue to give you more information. They basically sum up the whole plot of the movie in these 2 cutscenes. So if you're summing up the whole movie, right? Summing up the entire movie in these 2 cutscenes, what point is there in them being here? And why do you go straight into being back at Angel Grove at night? Because watch this, you get the Ninjetti powers, you could be fighting the Stone Guardians from the movie. You know, the Stone Guardians, they fight at the gate entrance, they come out the wall. What about the skeleton dinosaurs they fight? You know, Jurassic Park, that's very funny, Adam. What about that bit? You know? But no. Straight away, they discover the great power, and they get morphed back into the Power Rangers, and then they're back in Angel Grove, fighting more, get this, more Ooze-men. Like, there's not even Ooze-men in the story of the movie. Once Ivan Ooze is, like, they're terrorizing people with his Morphicons. The Ectomorphicons. There's nobody else. Like, there's no Ooze-men in Angel Grove at that time. Yet, right now, they're going to make me fight a bunch of Ooze-men in Angel Grove. That's what I did in the first level. It doesn't make any sense. It's just terrible game design and a lack of variety. Why can't I play as the Ninjetti? It doesn't make any sense, Pink Ranger. It doesn't make any sense why I can't play as them. Straight away, I'm back in Angel Grove. Now it's nighttime, which it should have been in the first level. The only bit of variety in this level is that cars come on screen. That's it. But they always drive across the same sections. There's barely anything special about them. It's just, I want to like it, I do, but it's so repetitive. The only time there's any variety in this game is in the next 2 levels. And the next 2 levels specifically, not including the boss of this one. Because I want you to see why I think this game wasn't based on the movie to begin with. Why I think this game was going to be something else entirely. And the next 2 main stages in the game are the proof of that, are the evidence for that argument. Notice how I'm still fighting Ooze-man. Just Ooze-man. Sometimes he has more health, sometimes he has less health, but he's Ooze-man. Ooze-man all the same. No truly special thing about him. He's just Ooze-man. Sometimes there's 2 Ooze-man, sometimes there's 3 Ooze-man. You know, the digitized voices aren't terrible. The soundtrack is amazing. The soundtrack is quite clearly the best part of this game. They even have a rendition. Sure, it's a little bit different, but they have a rendition of the main series theme. You know, that is That is commendable. Get off me. The timing's a bit harsh. When the time goes down, you just lose health really quickly. It's not actually an instant death for the timer going down, which is kind, but you lose your health pretty quickly. We need a hero. We need a hero, ladies and gentlemen. That cafe is called We Need a Hero. What a fantastic name for a cafe. Let's open 3 of them right now in my village. Let's open 3 We Need a Hero cafes right now. I'll get onto the Prince's Trust, get a grant for it. Let's open 3 cafes called We Need a Hero. Because that is such a smashing name for a cafe. Let's do it right now. You might notice that you have 3 health bars. You have blue, yellow, and then red. That's basically your equivalent of 3 lives. Thankfully, you don't get knocked down when you lose a bar. I'm sure I've played some beat-em-ups that do that. I can't remember them off the top of my head. It's the generic beat-em-up. I mean, there were so many of these in the early 90s. So many of these games trying to be Final Fight, trying to be Streets of Rage. And this game is no exception. It's trying to be something it's not, but it does a fairly decent job. And the controls are okay. I like that you've got the usual thing you've got in like games like Turtles, where you have a special move, it's good for getting out of the pickle, but it does damage to you at the same time. You've got that sort of feature. You've got the grabs. If you're close to an enemy and running, you sort of auto-grab them, which is convenient. Although they've got 3 buttons on this controller to use, they only use the A button for special attack, otherwise it's jump and attack. You could really use the A button as a second attack button, maybe do the 2 of them together for the special move. But how they've got it set up isn't bad. But you see, there's no variety here. We haven't even had a car drive on for a while. It's just the same enemies over and over again. And I wouldn't dare lure them down to the bottom, because a car in the face hurts. So I'm just standing here taking it, waiting for one of those coins to spawn on screen, so hopefully one of them will, you know, be extra health, because most of the time they're not, they're just points. So I'm waiting for them to spawn like a health pickup for me, because there's not even anything I can destroy, like a bin or a telephone box or something that's going to have some cooked turkey in it or something. Nothing like that. Just the same boring 3 enemies over and over and over again. And a random car. And another random car. So, anything special happening yet? Feeling festive? Feeling joyous? Anything special in this game whatsoever? No. No, there isn't. It's just the same enemies over and over. And I'm waiting until the next cutscene, so I've got another chance to have some more cider. Because that's what it's all about right now, is the cider. More Oozman. We've fought a couple of Oozman. We've probably fought like 40 Oozman now. Oh, I've used up a credit. Let's play someone new. Blue Ranger. I'm keeping track. I've played white, I've played pink. So I'm playing blue now. Then I'll probably play black, then red, then yellow. Oh, life up. Now I'm dead. And I don't need it. You... Oh. This is annoying. This is not a terrible game by any means. I mean, it's decent, and the characters have their own moves. Like, sure, there's a bit of sharedness between them, but Blue Ranger has his lance, you know, Billy has his lance. It's cool. They seem to have some of the moves that they didn't really use that much in the show, but they used in the original Super Sentai that Power Rangers was based on. You know, there's some of that in here. You know, there's a nice basis of all of them. You know, the funny thing is, on the high score display, if you let it run to the high score table on the title screen, it comes out with a message saying, remember the difference between reality and fantasy. Do your fighting on the screen, not at school. that makes me laugh, because nowadays all violence is accused on either video games or the Islamic community. You know, it can't possibly be anything else at fault, but that's a story for another time. Oozman. Wouldn't it be great to, you know, fight something different than Oozman? You're late to the party. Wow, Angel Grove's a pretty big place. Hey, look! It's another We Need a Hero. You know, they're starbucking. They've got one on every street corner. You can't walk around the nearest city and avoid a Starbucks or a Subway. They're everywhere. Come on. You know, I don't feel very mighty or very Morphin, for that matter, at the moment. I feel mighty mediocre. Mediocre Morphin ranges. No variety. Nothing is different. I'm fighting the same Oozman over and over again. I can't help but draw attention to it because it's the only thing I can talk about. It's the only thing there is to discuss. Okay, tell you what, let's talk about Jason David Frank. Now, he is my... Oh, I was going to say he is my favourite ranger, but we've actually got something happening. A cutscene. I get to take a drink. These are Ivan Ooze's ectomorphicons, by the way. Why they couldn't have the two appear in the same cutscene, I don't know. But now we get to play as a Zord. Now, I would love to show you the Falcon Zord. I would love to show you what he's like. But the Falcon Zord is actually terrible in this game. Unplayable filth. So we'll go for the Ninja Megazord instead. Or whatever it's called. Thunder Megazord? Ninja Megazord? Zoid? Megazoids? Zoids? Anybody play Zoids? I didn't. But it's much the same idea, isn't it? And... I don't feel like dancing, dancing. I feel like some cheapo Street Fighter character. I feel like Zangief or something in Street Fighter 4 right now. Just like we. Truth is, the boss can do crazy damage to you in one hit. That's like one hit I took. Actually, no, it wasn't. After I kill this one, which, by the way, I remember this battle taking place in the day. You know, that totally happened in the movie. You know, they didn't fight any of the ectomorphicons at night time. I don't know what you're talking about. Another blatant inaccuracy. But that's fine, because once again, I have reason to believe and evidence that this game originally wasn't intended to be about the movie. There goes the first ectomorphicon. And now we've got a battle against the Scorpatron, which isn't as easy. You might notice you don't have actual jump button when you're fighting as the Megazord, but you do have block, which is actually pretty good. It blocks against most physical attacks. It's not good against lasers and projectiles most of the time, but it does the job against physical attacks. It's a fairly easy boss battle. Fighting the two of these, like, there isn't any challenge to it. But it's nice to have some variety after fighting the same, you know, Oozman 30 times, but that's okay. We're going to move on to our other minor enemy. There are two minor enemies in this game. And those are Oozman and one more befitting of the second series of Power Rangers, which is what this game was quite clearly originally intended to be focused on. and allow me to explain why this game was focused on the second and third series of the original Power Rangers television program, or more specifically about the Japanese one. Using that as an excuse to get another drink in.